So next, let's transition, all right, into Battlefield not only being delayed, but also going toe to toe with the juggernaut that is Call of Duty, the game that always works, no matter what you do on it. It always works.
Not a problem.
Never.
Just, one thing that doesn't get talked about Call of Duty enough is how phenomenal their audio is.
Yeah, I agree.
Just, you know. Anyway, before we get into talking shit about Call of Duty, Battlefield got delayed, but only a month.
Yeah, not too bad. It went from October 22nd, that was the initial release, moved up to November 19th, so even a little less than a month, I'd argue. A few days less, Definitely not bad. That's not the end of the world, all right? The end the end of the world has already happened. You know what I'm saying? We went through it with the pandemic, and it's kind of still happening. So that's probably why you're getting some of these delays, all right? But the big news here is it's coming out now, 2 weeks after Call of Duty Vanguard.
Okay. I want to break this down a little bit, Liquid.
Please.
I want to break it down.
Please.
Because, I don't want to make everything about Halo, but it is in the middle of those two juggernaut games, right?
Right.
And but more with Call of Duty, because this is not the first time they've locked horns against each other.
No.
This is not the first time EA's took a shot at the throne. First time they missed terribly. And it was not a good look, pal. I want to ask you, what did you think of the initial when you heard Call of Duty getting delayed? What did you think?
Battlefield getting delayed, right? Yeah, Battlefield. Yeah, so, I didn't think. Well, at first, I didn't think. I was like, okay. My first thoughts, a month, not too bad. That's what I was thinking, right? Then you kind of put it more into perspective as far as it coming out 2 weeks after Call of Duty. Then I'm like, oh, so that's really trying to go heads up with Call of Duty then. And I'm like, well, why would you do that? If anything, my response, I don't know if you remember, was I thought they would probably be better off moving it even later than that and trying to go heads up more with Halo than anything.
Yeah.
That was my initial thought.
Halo had to come out this year, hell or high water, and December 8th is this is as late as they can push it back. It has to come out this year. So there's that. But when I initially thought of the Battlefield stuff, I was like, what do you need to fix that's going to take less of a month? You know what I mean?
Right.
What is a month? Is it really going to do that much?
Just a little bit of polishing, at most.
What polishing could he do?
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, it's not much.
I know it's a multiplayer game, but game design as you and I are just fans of the industry itself. We even understand that yo, dude, you just can't oh, they have a month. A month is a plenty of time to do anything. No, dude, you're thinking of your job. You're not thinking of the infrastructure these people have built. And it is not easy. And it's just man, what condition is this game in?
Right.
And what makes me think that is going, Call of Duty, and you're like, oh man, but we've had Battlefield has more goodwill than any of the other Call of Duty / Halo that going into this fall, this battle of the brands, I want to call it.
I'd say so.
But the thing is, it got pushed back, but still not negative, and they said they were going to communicate more on their open beta now, because I guess they plan on filling that time. So that's going to be really telling of where they're at, even though it's not a beta, it's more of a demo, just like Call of Duty. And, before I was like, this is worrisome, but then we have Call of Duty's open beta. And, Liquid, have you played any of the open beta yet?
No, I haven't touched it. I haven't even touched it.
Okay. So, apparently on PC and PlayStation, it's okay. The problems that started to occur is when Call of Duty hit the Xbox. And you could tell on the list of priorities, Xbox was dead last. Because, oh my god, Twitter blew up last night on #Vanguard. If you don't believe me, watch some of the clips. It's like the game, it looks like the most like you're like, oh, this is pre-alpha stuff, right? Like, nah, fam, this game comes out in like a couple months,
Yeah.
and it's just, honestly, it's just like any thought I had about getting on the Xbox has completely gone away
Right. Yeah. No.
because I was showing you these videos. What
Yeah.
did you think?
No, I saw the videos too, and it's so funny because like I looked at it once. I'm just like, my immediate question to you, I'm like, wait, was like, is this Xbox like only? Because I've watched streamers play it, and they seem to be doing fine. Now, granted, the majority of the streamers that I watch are either on PC or PlayStation. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
watched a few weeks ago with the first beta, and yeah, that was only on PlayStation. So yeah, I was thinking like, dude, like like what is he talking about? That's what I was at first, and then I
Mm-hmm.
saw it and I was like, whoa! Like you see people kind of doing little helicopter motions in the air. They're just like moving all over the place. It looks so weird. I did hear about the audios where it sounds like you can't even hear any footsteps. Now the funny thing is like I hear that and I'm just like, and that was a complaint with the first alpha, like with the PlayStation's version. So let me not. I want to say that was actually a complaint with PlayStation's as well, that the audio seemed a little too low. Which I was actually I gave it praise for that because I thought Modern Warfare and it being on the Modern Warfare engine, I thought their footsteps are too loud personally.
Mm-hmm.
But some people now they're saying that they're like just non-existent, like they almost don't, they're not even, you can't even hear them at all. So I was like, ooh, I don't know about all that. Like that sounds a little bad. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's crazy. Which almost I kind of, and maybe this is tinfoil hat. Do you think this is on purpose?
What do you mean this is on purpose?
Well, for example, the contract that Call of Duty has is with PlayStation when it comes to the marketing, right? So I so
Liquid.
I ask, I'm like, yo, could this possibly now part again, this is just me conspiracy theory liquid. I don't think I at the end of the day, I don't think that's what it is. But I mean, is it impossible to think that? You know what I'm saying? If Sony shelled out enough money to be like, hey, just do what you got to do on PlayStation, hell, even PC, and they'll probably convince them, hey, look at where you make the most money at. You know what I'm saying? Like, is Xbox, like, is it really that serious? And then who knows? Maybe they did. I don't know. I don't know. That's
No,
where my
you
mind
it def
wanders.
no, I don't. The thing is, I think you're being a little wild. I think you're being a wild boy, but I
Maybe.
don't think you're being that wild. I think on the list of priorities, it shows what was important to who makes this game? Raven? Is it Raven?
Well, Sledgehammer is doing the bulk of the game, and I want to say Raven is working on the multiplayer, if I'm not mistaken. They usually work
Okay.
on all the multiplayers, if memory serves me correct.
So it shows a list of priorities is what I'm ultimately getting at, and the
Hmm.
Xbox was not very high on them. Like you read between the lines here, read the tea leaves.
Yeah.
Like it's just the pudding. The proof is in the pudding, and right now we're seeing Xbox is having a non-playable experience. You cannot play this game multiplayer right now.
That sucks. That really does suck. And so then I ask another question though, Chris. All right, because like now, well, let's go on the other side of it here. I mean, could it possibly be maybe the Xbox is a little more difficult to work on, like the PlayStation 3 was? Could that be a possibility?
I don't think it is. If in fact the Xbox is technically more powerful than the PS5.
Yeah, no, I don't doubt the power, but remember, even the PS3 was more powerful than the 360 was it not?
Yeah, but it as what I know, and take it what I'm saying with a grain of salt,
Mm-hmm.
it's very streamlined. Like the
Okay.
PlayStation was a lesson that the industry learned.
Okay, I got, and it makes
So,
sense.
so yeah, obviously it's not one to one working on a video game, but it's close enough where like this shouldn't be happening to this level.
No, I agree. This is only coming from really only one game. It's Halo. Halo had the year delay. I know that it was due to COVID and stuff like that. That's kind of where this is coming from. Again, tinfoil hat just still on. Really is what it is. I don't think that's what it is neither. Like I honestly do. Like you said, I think list of priorities plays a big part in it. And I think if that was the case, as far as it being difficult to work on, we would have probably heard that by now with other
Yeah.
developers. So I'm just asking questions out here. I'm just throwing everything out there.
No, you're asking the real questions, and honestly, a question like, and I looked it up. And I've been looking in. This is where the bulk of my research for this episode has actually been, because I'm trying to do research, and no one's talking about it. The Xbox is having such a lackluster experience, and I'm gonna say yet again, it goes to this PlayStation bias. It still just is what it is. If this same thing was happening
Right.
on Xbox or on PlayStation, people would be losing their freaking minds right now.
100%.
I digress. So it's just the way it is. I could get saltier about it, but who the hell cares? Like, it just is what it is.
Right.
And it just shows right now, when it comes to Call of Duty versus Battlefield, this is Battlefield's to lose. Call of Duty has never came out in such a sorry state.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of Ghost. Ghost was just a bad game, but it wasn't broken.
Right. No, I agree.
Like, this game is broken.
Yeah, I guess I can't remember if there was. I can't remember a time, and and even the fact that it like, if there was a time like an issue, it was across the board. It wasn't necessarily any specific console that I can remember. So yeah, no, I agree. I don't. Now,
Guys, for anyone watching it, if I'm wrong, please tell me no. I would love to look into it. So if you guys know, prove us wrong or tell us, and
yeah.
We'll get it back up. If someone's like, actually, this Call of Duty came a little jacked up, let me know, because I'm not as well versed in Call of Duty. The funny thing, when I was playing Black Ops with Liquid, I was like, man, look at all this stuff Call of Duty's done, but Liquid's been keeping up with it. And he's like, what are you talking about, Chris? I'm like, yo, this was not in any of these games.
Right. Yeah, no, it's made some changes here, made some strides, I would even say. Now, with what you just mentioned, as far as like nobody really talking about it, like, is it just a handful of people maybe? Could it be, or is it Xbox as a whole?
It looks, I don't know. I don't want to. I can't definitively say, because this is from Twitter, but this is a big enough story where, like, legitimate FPS. I forgot the name of the website, but it's like a grassroots one. They were talking about it, and I was like, I thought it was somebody just pressing clicks. But then I looked around. I'm like, oh, this is like a website's trying to legitimate. I wish I could remember the name so I could shout them out.
That's all right.
They said it's a consistent problem, it seems, for Xbox. So I've been trying to download this, because the free beta is supposed to be like today or tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow. I'm definitely gonna be playing it, and we might have a little in the next episode, next week's podcast, a little up to date stuff, because I'm heavily interested in this Call of Duty, because I have an Xbox Series S. So, to let you know, from a console perspective, I'm gonna put some time in it, and we're gonna see it out. Besides, I do like the World War II aesthetic. I know Liquid feels otherwise, but I really enjoy it.
It's so funny. It's not just me though. It's like a lot of people that are not really.
Oh no, I know I'm in the minority.
No. I get that. I'm just saying, like, I was surprised knowing that. Like, I didn't know that was like a majority. Like, a lot of people were. They just don't really care about the World War II thing anymore. And like I said, me included.
Yeah. I think this open Battlefield is this can be the shift. Or if let's just say Halo wins. Halo's the best game out of all three.
Yeah.
But Battlefield still beats Call of Duty. This game to be the beginning of the shift.
Sure.
Or Battlefield, where instead of like trying to play catch up Call of Duty, now they're in the forefront.
Right.
That's about holding that front. And this game is supposed to be a games of service. Now it's like, okay, now we got to push it to overdrive, and it's EA, and EA is like, how much money can we throw at this problem?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And so it's definitely like, if you ever wanted to take Call of Duty down, this is the year to do it. And I think both franchises are in a good place to do it. Now that I think about how the video game landscape shifted, I made a joke earlier about the co-op and the Forge. I'm like, I think this is the Halo's benefit. Because what if both games are trash?
Could be.
What if both games are broken and Halo at least has a good multiplayer? But by comparison of how it fell, how the dominoes fell, now it's just like, hey, at least we have one good game, and you're like, whoa.
I was thinking of that as well, which I like. It's so funny because I'm just like, like I already, we know about Halo not coming out with the campaign co-op mode, and we know the Forge is missing as well on day one. Like I would, and then we see this with Call of Duty. Like I immediately thought, like, what is happening? Like, do games just come out unfinished now? Is that what we're doing now? Like as far as especially the shooters specifically. I wanted to ask, you don't know? Do you know if it's like Xbox Series X users versus the S? Do you have any information on
No,
that?
it's both. It's
It
both.
is both. Okay. Wow. So like, wow, that's nuts.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I absolutely like this could be. It's so funny because like I'm thinking like what like you said, I thought the same thing. Like what if Battlefield also doesn't come out? I'm like we'll have a Halo that I see as unfinished because of the lack
It
of
is.
co-op. Yeah, it's unfinished, right? So I'm like we have an unfinished product that technically would be the better of the three. Like that's wild. Like what kind of world are we? What are we doing? That's
It
crazy.
just shows. This is the beginning to showing how much COVID actually affected game development. I think this is really telling. If Battlefield, like, and I don't think they're going to.
Mm-hmm.
Now conspiracy corner Chris.
Yeah, sure.
Like if it happens, like all Halo has to do is one of the six things they offer really good, and they just win. They
Yeah.
win the fall and become a contender. I don't think they're gonna win, but your name gets brought up for Game of the Year, even though Halo is an incomplete game by
Yeah.
our age bracket. Because you have to remember, this Halo Infinite is gonna be people's first Halo experiencing. They don't know what Forge is. They don't have the co-op days dreams that we do.
Right.
Oh, it. I am on pins and needles how this story is gonna shake out. And don't worry, guys, you're gonna hear it from us first.
Oh yeah.
Me and Liquid are both a fan of this genre, and I am ecstatic because I would love it if Battlefield beat Call of Duty. Like that's the world we live in. What? And I'm like, I want to play Battlefield now. Now I'm intrigued. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, I gotta get me some Battlefield. I gotta get in. I at least gotta get in this beta.
Yeah, I've been more interested. In the past, I've always loved Call of Duty more than Battlefield, but this is the first year where I'm like, man, I really want to play this Battlefield over this Call of Duty, 100%. So I'm loving these conversations. I think it's great. Like I think it's it's just the fact that it's giving us something to talk about alone is awesome.
And Devil's Advocate. Let's just say all three games bomb.
Oof.
That means Fortnite, Apex, and like a Splitgate and a PUBG, they pick up all the pieces. And all they had to do is not be broken.
Well, what about Warzone? Maybe Warzone too. Now I know we said
But
Call of Duty, but Warzone's kind of its own thing.
Warzone's Warzone right now. I think their numbers are starting to go back up, but you have to remember their stuff is going to coincide with this Call of Duty. And if it has that stank on it, then people are like, about this Call of Duty don't even work. Do I want to play some Warzone? But like, bro, I don't even want to mess with Call of Duty right
Really?
now. This Battlefield though, because you have to remember, like, if you put money down, if you put $60 instead of in skins or in da 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 da, you put it in the game, and then that was trash. You're like, bro, what am I doing? Like
I
it,
see what
it
you're
will
saying.
negatively affect this game. I think even in Warzone.
Really? You see,
Then
I
people want, yeah.
disagree. I don't like. I think it'll, like you said, it'll put some stank on the Call of Duty series as a whole, sure. But those Warzone people, they're insane, man. I feel like they're
I don't know.
like as long as there's work, they don't care what Call of Duty does, or what I'm saying, as far as the story or the normal multiplayer that's not the battle royale stuff, stuff like that. But yeah, man, it's wild, dude. It's
Or
crazy.
maybe a question for another day. Does Call of Duty even need yearly games anymore?
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a great point.